We'll be meeting with the minister on Tuesday on this to continue deliberation while work will resume in full. So that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Lucky Isekokai. That's chairman of the union. Of course, like you've heard, Najatu, while they will resume on 11th of January, that's Monday, they, of course, will also be holding meetings to press home their demands and to ensure that all their demands are being met, of course, for the greater good of the process of enrollment and, of course, linking, NIN with a SIM card. So that's the latest for now. Let's hope that it plays out as we have just heard from the chairman himself. It's back to you.
We certainly hope so too, Joseph. Thank you for the update. Similarly, many eligible enrollees in the ongoing National Identification Number registration exercise in Delta State have been turned back by the Management Commission following a nationwide strike embarked upon by the staff over alleged breach of their welfare packages, Ngozi Imokwede reports.
For some days now, a large number of people were seen at the premises of the National Identification Management Commission's office in last-minute efforts to enroll for National Identification Number and also link their phone numbers. Surprisingly, this morning, the crowd have disappeared and the office in Delta State is under lock and key.
I think that they locked their gate. I called one of their colleagues inside. He said I should go.
Today again, I came here about 5:30 a.m. Again, after writing some people's name, they said, okay, we should go home, that they are on strike, that no, they are not working. We should go home till further notice.
How do we get this thing without, you people can tell us how to go online and do this thing without all this crowd, without this stress we are going through. We are tired. We can do this thing online, access it on Google, whichever way. Tell us how to do this thing in the comfort of our homes.
Some of the National Identification Management Commission's staff who spoke off camera say they are on strike because since the inception of COVID-19 pandemic, no allowance has been given to them, among other welfare issues. With this new decision by the National Identification Management Commission's staff, some citizens are afraid that they might not be able to meet up with the deadline for the registration set by the federal government.
They're doing all these things to us. Let them not block our line because of all these things they are doing.
The federal government set the deadline for those without national identification number to register and link up their phone numbers before February 9th, while those with national identification number to link their SIM before January 19th. In Asaba, Ngozi Imokwede, NTA News.
Now, for more on that situation, let's join Asma'u in Sokoto for more updates.
Thank you, Najatu. Good afternoon and welcome to Sokoto. As Nigerians jostle for the national identification number, the strike by the National Identification Management Agency has stalled the NIN registration in Sokoto. Applicants have, however, called for government intervention. Sheikh Muhammad Detti reports.
Hopes of meeting the February 9th National Identification Number to SIM registration and verification deadline may face a challenge as workers of the National Identification Management Commission NIMC stopped work across the country. The workers hinged the strike on several challenges, including their exposure to COVID-19 risks, lack of personal protective equipment, irregularities in promotion, and for funding. A visit to the NIMC office in Sokoto shows the gate under lock against people seeking to register.
For now, we are doing warning strike for 48 hours. After 48 hours, we'll just go follow the process, constitutional process for independent strike.
The 2 days warning strike did not go down well with some applicants.
An ce mini ana yajin aiki bisa ga hakikanin gaskiya ban ji daɗin wannan yajin aikin ba.
Saboda in jara layuka na. Don idan aka rufe su gaskiya zan samu matsaloli da dama akan waɗannan layukan. Pleading of the government to consider us.
Following the surge to meet the deadline by millions of unregistered subscribers, the Nigerian Communications Commission announced last week an extension until February 9th to block mobile SIM cards of citizens without national identification numbers, while subscribers that have obtained their identification numbers have until January 19th, 2021 to link their mobile SIM cards with their national identity numbers. Nigerian government has given a deadline for telecom operators to register mobile phone users amid concerns that unregistered SIM cards are being used by criminals and insurgents. In Sokoto, Shehu Muhammad Detti, NTA News.
The Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, has pledged to deploy more effective strategies to defeat armed banditry in the country. He stated this at the passing out parade of Batch B Special Constabulary in Sokoto. Sheikh Muhammad Detti again reports.
Following the directives of President Muhammadu Buhari to commence the implementation of community policing strategy across the country, the Nigerian police has graduated another set of 704 Batch B constabulary officers from Sokoto and Kebbi states. The Inspector General of Police, represented by AIG Zone 10, Muhammad Mustafa, said the engagement of special constabularies for local policing will complement the effort of regular security agencies to fight crime and banditry in the zone. He tasked the trained personnel to participate in intelligence gathering, tracking and enforcement within the ambit of the law.
It is hoped that they are going to inject, actually they're going to contribute their own quota to the policing in this country.
This is a joint venture with the government and state government, and all these people that have passed out, they are going back to their respective communities.
The 704 special constabularies were drawn from all the local government areas of the two states that form the second batch of the trained officers. They were given the required training that will enable them contribute in tackling insecurity, particularly at the grassroots. Governments of the two states assured the special constables of protection and support, ensuring they have necessary tools to operate. The trained officers will be deployed to their communities for optimal operation. In Sokoto, Shehu Muhammad Detti, NTA News.
And that's it from here. It's back to Najatu in Abuja. Good afternoon.
Although social media as a channel of communication is inherent, bad social media users spread rumors and fake news without verification. But good social media users stop, reflect, and verify information before sharing it. Be a good social media user. Stop the spread of fake news. Verify the authenticity of your source and use social media responsibly for a better Nigeria. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, in collaboration with the National Orientation Agency.
Do you know that 35% of every girl child and women are raped on daily basis? Some are killed in the process, some take their lives in shame, others remain emotionally dead for life. It is sad. This culture is not ours, definitely not African. How did we allow bad culture to infiltrate and take over? Even if you lack fear for the law, what of fear of God? And you, why do you cover up rape acts when it happens? Remember, a problem shared is a problem half solved. Never cover any rape act because a rapist is a murderer. It could be you or your loved ones next. Women must be treated like the prize gem they are. Say no to rape.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview UK channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk, app for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
A new edition of TV Guide is out with special focus on the game changer, His Excellency Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State. Broadcasting in a digital economy. Maxwell Logo gives an insight. This edition also features Nancy Naji of AIT, a name synonymous with business. Meet the NCDC boss, Dr. Chikwe Ihekweazu. TV Guide, your indispensable companion, also x-rays the relevance of social media in the modern society. Meet some TV professionals who have impacted their spaces and other inspiring stories in sports, entertainment, and lots more. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or NTA stations nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
If you're just joining us, this is NTA Nationwide. It's time to join Adiola in Lagos for more reports on COVID-19.
Thank you, Nadia, too. The Federal Ministry of Works and Housing ordered the immediate closure of the Airport Road Link Bridge following the recent tanker fire accident at Toyota along the Apapa Oshodi Expressway. Dotun Oguyemi reports.
Yet another tanker fire accident has put Lagos. The latest incident, which comes barely a week into the new year, has left ongoing road rehabilitation along a 200-meter stretch from Toyota bus stop along the Apapa Oshodi Expressway in dire need of recasting of on the road surface and median barricades. The accident also caused to question the integrity of one of the pillars holding the airport link bridge in place.
We came yesterday, the bridge was barricaded, but unfortunately it has been removed. So we are appealing to the public to please desist from doing so because it's very risky. We don't know the condition of this bridge by now.
With the closure, motorists are to be diverted through Ladipo, but the state government is concerned about the activities of residents along the axis.
Mushi, there's a bypass, Alaji Akinwi. Last year we commissioned that road. It's a rigid pavement, it's a road. So if we block this, we'll try to create the alternative route and see what we can do to relieve people and bust out. We will keep doing, but if you go there now, that's what I'm saying, people must take responsibility and ownership. That road was done last year in rigid pavement. If you go in there, half of the road is filled with refuse. It's filled with refuse, it's filled with engines from the motor parts sellers.
The federal and state government also renewed calls to enforce relevant road laws, especially as it concerns roadworthiness and movement of articulated vehicles. In Lagos, Dotun Oguyemi, NTA News.
Now, 2 persons have been arrested with the issuance of fake COVID-19 test results. The Director General of the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, NIMR, disclosed this while reacting to a media publication on alleged sharp practices at the institute. Kende Adebisi reports.
On Tuesday, the 29th of December 2020, a media organization aired a news item on alleged sharp practices going on at the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, one of the approved drive-through centers for COVID-19 tests. Following investigation by the institute, it was discovered that 2 persons allegedly involved are neither staff nor agents of the institute. The DG, NIMR Babatunde Salako, said their confession revealed that they have been visiting the facility under the guise of coming for COVID-19 tests and in the process made away with COVID-19 testing request forms belonging to the institute, which they used to fabricate fake results to the unsuspecting public.
The suspects by names Enoch Basian and Vesin Binra were caught in the act while they were trying to do COVID-19 tests for one of our staff who acted as dummy patient at the front of a bank at Solo, Lagos.
Another 2 individuals, a staff of the institute in charge of the testing request form, the DG said is currently being investigated, while a security man who granted interview to the media agency is at large. Professor Salako, who stressed the need for a balanced reportage, said that all COVID-19 test results are sent electronically via the Institute's official email, and any results issued by other sources should be disregarded and reported to appropriate authorities. The DG reassured the public of the Institute's unreserved commitment towards the discharge of its mandate. In Lagos, Kende Adebisi, NTA News.
And that's it from Lagos. Naja 2 is back to you.
The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has announced 1,565 new cases of COVID-19 across the country. Out of the new infections, Lagos has again recorded the highest number with 807 cases, followed by the FCT with 236. Kaduna, 79 new cases, Oyo, 57, Plateau, 47, Rivers, 37, and Katsina, 35. Other states recording new cases are Edo and Sokoto with 30 new cases each, Delta 26, Kebbi 23, Ondo 20, Enugu 18, Abia and Ogun 17 each, Benue 16, Bayelsa 15, Bauchi 14, Niger 13, Kano 10, Borno 6, Imo 5, Ekiti 4, Osun 2 and Jigawa 1. The total number of confirmed cases in Nigeria has risen to 95,934, with 77,982 patients discharged. Unfortunately, 1,330 people have now died of the virus in Nigeria. The federal government is hopeful that the COVID-19 vaccines will be available in the country by the end of January 2021. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria say 100,000 doses of the vaccine are being expected, but administration will not start until the second quarter of the year. Alika Okpanachi Arua reports.
The move by the federal government to acquire the COVID-19 vaccines to curb the spread of the virus in Nigeria has been generating a lot of controversies from the public on its efficacy and possible side effects. Alleviating the fears of the public, guests on Good Morning Nigeria says the vaccine will be tested and approved by NAFDAC first before being administered to the public.
I know government has a plan to bring more vaccine, as they're saying, like 42 million doses for 20%. And on top of that, government has also planned using its own resource to bring more vaccines. So it's a strategy evolving.
The guests also stated that Pfizer is Nigeria's choice of the vaccine as it suits Nigerian temperature level. They also maintain that healthcare workers and other frontline workers will be the first to benefit from the vaccine before others in the first rollout and will be administered in 2 doses.
It's not about which vaccine is recommended for Africa or elsewhere. It's about which vaccine works, and they have to prove beyond any doubt that it's effective and it's safe.
For us that are in public health, we have to put in the effort that is required to present the information to create awareness about vaccines. So when you talk about those conspiracy theories around, they want to depopulate Africans, right? You know, those stories have always been there from anti-vaccination elements.
They also emphasized the need to educate the public on the importance of taking the vaccine when available while still adhering to all safety protocols. In Abuja, Alika Okpanachi Arua, NTA News.
And still on COVID-19, the second wave of the infection has raised concerns over the negligent attitude of Nigerians. With the world working towards reliable vaccines, the need for people to obey reimposed guidelines and protocols has come to the fore. Against this backdrop, Austin Edemodu examines the dangers of flouting the guidelines, as well as the prospects of a local vaccine against the infectious disease.
The pandemic is once again spreading like wildfire as the second wave of the pandemic hits countries of Europe and America, in most cases resulting in high rate of fatalities, while total or partial lockdown has been reimposed. In Nigeria, the number of infected persons has risen to more than 94,369, with the highest number of 1,664 new cases on a single day since the second wave. Despite the reimposition of the COVID-19 COVID-19 guidelines and protocols in Nigeria, most Nigerians seem to be adamant on the obvious risk of flouting the directives.
With this kind of crowd behind me, it sends a wrong signal on the attitude of Nigerians towards averting the escalation of the COVID-19 pandemic.
We felt the COVID-19 has gone naturally the way it came, so everybody is living their normal life.
Most infectious diseases, epidemics that come like this, pandemics, most times you have a second wave. Because when the first one would have gone down, people will relax. We've been locked down. It's like letting a bird out of the cage. So people throw caution to the wind and all those preventive measures.
As at the time of this report, 2 persons have been placed on isolation with 1 new death as authorities reopen isolation centers across Delta State.
There's a gradual increase in the number. We have commenced testing. We can do testing in the hospital now. And so we're able to make our diagnosis quickly and intervene when we need to. The advice to Nigerians is for them to take precaution.
As the scramble for the trials and administration of the COVID-19 vaccines takes center stage in some countries of the world, there are suggestions that Nigeria must rise up to the challenge of providing the vaccines to over 206 million of her population, as Stitching Time saves 9. I'm Austin Edemodu, NTA News.
Now, did you ever think that a piece of cloth over your nose and mouth would someday be a life-saving tool for humans in a situation which today is largely referred to as the new normal? In this report, Cecilia Julius investigates why some people disregard the use of the face mask despite its indication as a transmission virus reducer.
The pronouncement of a second wave of the coronavirus pandemic in the nation by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, shockwaves greeted the people, which called for more proactive measures to curtail its spread. While some people were nonchalant about precautionary measures, others view the transmission of the virus serious and are making sure that the disease is kept at bay. One item used to stem the spread of the pandemic and stay healthy is the face mask. But is the face mask effectively fighting this transmission?
The importance of a face mask cannot be overemphasized, especially when you're in an area where it's a little bit crowded or in public places. You must use a face mask.
In spite of government's calls and spread of information on the use of the face mask to fight the pandemic, why are people still adamant?
People find it easy to believe falsehood because falsehoods tend to be convenient. So when you believe that COVID-19 is not there, then you don't have to wear a face mask. You don't have to do what seemingly feels inconveniencing to them. And therefore, if anybody sells something to you that, oh, this is false, it becomes easier for you to believe.
Where I know that I sit with a lot of people that we are not spread as it is, I will use it.
If every individual we adhere to the putting on the face mask, it will protect us a lot.
Experts say obeying preventive safety protocols for one is safety for all. In Calabar, Cecilia Julius, NTA News.
And the schools in Akwa Ibom State resume for the concluding part of the first term of the 2020-2021 academic year. Education administrators have pledged to intensify academic activities to make up for lost time while strictly adhering to COVID-19 precautions. Ifeoma Aihoje has details.
Just the beginning of the school, we had to do a lot of practicals in biology, chemistry, and physics. School was interesting and I learned so much things in school today.
We were taught so many subjects while observing the COVID-19 measures, so it was safe and it was also very fun.
These children are not just vibrant in their academic programs, they are also very cautious of their health while in school, especially in the face of the second wave of COVID-19.
We wore our face masks and we did social distancing.
So we can't touch anyone physically.
And we don't shake or hug, we fist bump with each other.
We have to keep that because we don't want to catch the COVID-19.
For teachers and administrators, safety of the children is paramount, hence a commitment to providing adequate preventive materials with intense supervision to ensure compliance among pupils and students.
As they come in, they wash their hands. As they go into their classes, all the children have their personal hand sanitizer, and our teachers are also wearing their shields to ensure that transmission does not go from any staff.
The junior sections will come to school on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. Then the senior sections will come to school on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays so that we can maintain social distancing.
Meanwhile, some stakeholders are calling on government to make provisions for more classroom blocks in public schools to reduce the number of children assigned to a class. In Uyo, Ifoma Aikoje, NTA News.
And from Uyo, we head straight to our Maiduguri studio where Abubakar is standing by.
Good afternoon to you, Naja'atu. Now, Borno State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has arrested one Hassan Mohammed Ebere of Goni Damgari Bayan Quarters Ward in Maiduguri, selling dead chickens to the unsuspecting public. The suspect was paraded before newsmen at the NSCDC's command office in Maiduguri. Memuna Garba completes the story.
Parading the suspect, the NSCDC's PRO DSC Blues James, while briefing the press on the arrest, said the suspected dead chicken seller was arrested at a river bank behind BRTV while preparing dead chickens for commercial purpose. According to the PRO, the suspect was apprehended with 16 chickens, saying he admitted processing an average of 10 to 15 chickens during each of his acts. DSC Blues James said further investigation by the command reveals that the suspect also smokes the dead chickens for sale in the name of bushmeat.
He took advantage of the open waste disposal. He picked dead animals, particularly chickens. His customers are located around Gomari Kostin, Bulunkutu, and Wulari General area. We deem it fit to bring this to public awareness, considering the health challenges this might pose to the general public.
The suspect, Hassan Mohammed Ebere, in an interview admitted committing the act, saying he has nothing doing, hence the selling of the dead chicken to make money. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
Borno State government has donated 10 million naira to the state chapter of the Nigerian Legion. This was during the launching of the Emblem Appeal Week and decoration of the state governor by the Legion. Mohammed Goni has more details.
Armed Forces Remembrance and Emblem Appeal Week is an annual event designed to reflect on the sacrifices of members of the armed forces in various operations towards securing lives and property, as well as the territorial integrity of the nation. Governor Wagana Omar assured continued support of the state government to the ex-servicemen and families of the fallen heroes. The governor who pledged to look into requests made by the members of the Legion, including land for farming activities, charged them to use funds raised to come up with programs that will add value to lives of members and their families.
We link up with the governor of Borno State, with the garrison commander, to make adequate arrangement by all level to support.
Chairman of the Borno State branch of the Nigerian Legion, Colonel William Mamza, retired, noted the continued support of Governor Zulum to the cause of the association and appealed for more support to the orphans and widows of the fallen heroes. He also expressed their desire to key into the 25-year development plan of the state government through agriculture and solicited for allocation of farmlands to the members, among others. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
You're on to Nationwide on the largest television network in Africa, the NTA. Time now to return to Naja'atu in Abuja. Naja'atu.
Thank you, Abubakar. Welcome back from Maiduguri. We'll take a break and return with more security reports.
Life can be very eventful. We curiously expect things to happen, even when we don't know what. Our human nature makes us like and repost lots of information. Some are unverified, inciting anger and hate. Sometimes innocently, other times the urge to break it first. This, in most cases, has caused destruction in many nations.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth entrepreneurship support years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
NTA News 24, a 24-hour news station brings to you news and happenings 7 days a week.
News at 10 a.m., news update at 11 and 1 p.m.
News desk at 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. and late evening news at 11 p.m.
Follow us on any of our platforms and keep abreast of events and current affairs within and outside our shores.
We are on DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 46,
Star Times channel 101, and Free TV channel 703. Join us.
This is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. The Directorate of Defense Media Operations, DMO, says the Air Task Force of Operation Laifia Adole has inflicted heavy casualties on Boko Haram terrorists in the Sambisa forest area of Borno State, destroying their hideouts in Alagarno, including a compound housing some high-value Boko Haram leaders. DMO Coordinator Major General John Enenche says the compound, concealed under thick vegetation and located 2.3 kilometers northeast of Kaffa, was being used by the terrorists to coordinate nefarious activities. The destruction of the locations was achieved through multiple airstrikes executed on 6 January 2021 as the Air Task Force dispatched Nigerian Air Force attack aircraft to engage the target areas in day and night raids, leading to the neutralization of the terrorists. The Armed Forces of Nigeria says it will not relent until all enemies of the nation are neutralized and normalcy is restored to all troubled zones. And following credible intelligence, troops of Operation Wellstroke in the early hours of 7 January 2021 successfully conducted a rescue operation at Mararaba Udege in Nasarawa local government area of Nasarawa State, rescuing 3 kidnapped persons. A statement by the Coordinator, Defense Media Operations, Major General John Enenche, indicates that one of the bandits was eliminated in the battle which ensued. Major General Enenche notes that the armed forces will not relent until all enemies of the country are neutralized and normalcy is returned to all troubled zones. Meanwhile, in an effort to combat smuggling, irregular migration and other crimes along Nigeria's borders following the reopening, the Operation Swift Response, launched in August 2019 and coordinated by the Office of the National Security Advisor, has transformed into Nigeria's Joint Border Patrol Team as part of a tripartite operation comprising Nigeria, Niger, and Benin Republic. In a statement by the Public Relations Officer of the Nigeria Customs Service, Joseph Atta, who is also the spokesperson of the Joint Patrol, the National Security Advisor Babagana Monguno emphasizes the Joint Border Patrol will be adequately administered and implores the team to remain uncompromising. Atta further states that a year and 4 months into the operation, 1,401 irregular migrants have been arrested, while seized items valued at 12,538,333,545 naira 50 kobo have been seized. U.S. President Donald Trump calls for end to violence and pledges smooth transfer of power after Capitol riot. Joyce Ometu has details.
U.S. President Donald Trump has acknowledged that Joe Biden will be the next president of the United States and said his focus now is on a peaceful transition of power, a day after his supporters violently attacked the United States Capitol. The statement marks a shift in tone for Trump, who has spent months claiming without evidence that the election was marred by widespread fraud.
America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay. A new administration will be inaugurated on January 20th. My focus now turns to ensuring a smooth, orderly, and seamless transition of power.
Meanwhile, a U.S. Capitol Police officer has died of injuries sustained during clashes with supporters of President Trump. U.S. Capitol Police in a statement said that the officer, Brian Sicknick, had sustained injuries while physically engaging with protesters during Wednesday's riots. He is the fifth person to die because of the scuffle. Resultantly, U.S. Capitol Police Chief Stephen Sand is resigning amid criticism of the department's response to the protests. Reports say Sand's resignation will go into effect on January 16, just a few days of President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration. In the meantime, U.S. law enforcement authorities have opened a criminal investigation into Wednesday's attack on U.S. Capitol by pro-Trump rioters, enlisting hundreds of investigators to identify and arrest the perpetrators. Acting U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Michael Sherwin, said 15 people have been charged in the federal court in Washington, while 40 others were charged in D.C. Superior Court in the lead-up of the riots, most of them for unlawful entry into Capitol grounds. Joyce Ometu, NTA News.
Now, what would have been catastrophic by way of fire outbreak was averted at Elibrada community in Emohua local government area of Rivers State as a gas pipeline belonging to Adripo Oil Company exploded in the late hours of Wednesday. Robinson Deratide reports that government and concerned agencies were at the scene of the incident to prevent further damage.
The pipeline is a 36 GTS 4 gas delivery line from Rumuji through Elibrada to the Bonny Export Terminals, reportedly installed in 2006. The excavation around the pipeline and some sophisticated equipment discovered indicates that it might be a third-party sabotage. There are insinuations also that the saboteurs may have been searching for PMS, only to discover gas and allowed it to explode to save their lives.
This is raw gas. Everywhere we are covered, even up to the community where people live, we are covered with smell of gas. People were closing their mouth with their wrapper and everything. We could not come because of the noise we are hearing from this side of the farm road. We are peace-abiding people. We are pleading that government should come and rectify this thing.
The inability of the company to clear the right-of way of the pipeline may have given easy access to the illegal operation.
We've cordoned the area to make sure that further damages do not occur. They are lucky that there was no fire explosion.
Officials of the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency and other concerned agencies were on ground for investigation. From Elibrada in Rivers State, Robinson Deratide, NTA News.
Now for sports news, Golden Eaglets face Black Starlets in Under-17 Championship in Togo. Details with our sports desk.
Welcome to Sports Update. I'm Badi Adeleye. We begin with talent discovery and development. As the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development says, it remains committed to hosting the National Youth Games this year. The annual event could not hold in the year 2020 due to the coronavirus pandemic, but the Director of Grassroots Sports Development in the Ministry, Ademola Are, says the NYG is next in line after the National Sports Festival built for February.
The lives of the youth are very important, so we are hoping that COVID-19 will really enable us to do what we are supposed to do.
To football now, the Nigeria Professional Football League enters match day 3 this weekend, with Aqua United hosting Abia Warriors in Saturday's sole match. On Sunday, MFMFC and Sunshine Stars go head-to-head. Champions Plateau United host Heartland, while Lord leaders Nasarawa United welcome Kano Pillars to the Lafia Township Stadium. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Football Federation has challenged the national under-17 football team, the Golden Eaglets, to go for victory against their Ghanaian opponents at the Wafu B Under-17 Championship in Togo on Saturday. Coach Fatah Amo's boys, after losing their first group game, must beat the Black Starlets to stand a chance of progressing beyond the group stage. And NFF President Amaju Pinnick has charged the team to show their strong winning mentality against their West African rivals. And finally, Formula 1 giants Mercedes are confident that reigning world drivers champion Lewis Hamilton will sign a contract extension. Reports claim that the 7-time world champion has made a list of demands which is holding up the deal. And that will be all on Sports Update. I am Badi Adeleye.
On a sad note, President Muhammadu Buhari has condoled with the family of former Minister of Aviation and 12th Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Nsika Kabasi Acien Edwok, describing his death as a huge loss to the nation, particularly all those he inspired and mentored in tactical air operations. In a statement, the President joins the military in mourning the passing of the highly decorated former officer who spent more than 2 decades updating his pilot skills in the United Kingdom, United States, and former Soviet Union, returning to the country to share his experience with colleagues and younger officers. President Buhari also commiserates with the government and people of Akwa Ibom State, friends and associates of the deceased, affirming that he lived a life of service to the nation and humanity with distinguished results in all endeavors. And on that note, we conclude the news on NTA Nationwide. Thanks for watching.